Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Park of Trailers. I am your mistress of ceremony, Lady Nika. TGIF, y'all. TGI, motherfucking F. That means we made it through the weekend, so child, we in there, okay? Today I'm doing Queen Sugar. I also upload a fuck shit Friday because if there was ever some fuck shit that went on, it went on this week. So right after this, you'll get a special election edition of Fuck Shit of Friday. Well, I will say what I have to say. It's going to be my last time saying anything about it. Because I can't live, child, I can't be sad like that. I'm not productive when I'm feeling depressed and stuff like that. I thrive off of happiness and laughter. I try to live my life like that because although everything ain't funny, I do find humor and stuff in order to be able to, I guess you could say, digest what's going on, okay? So, this is going to be Queen Sugar. This is season 1, episode 10, entitled So Far. And I'll tell you all right off the bat, this is going to be a very thorough review because I really did enjoy this. This is part of why I came out of the slump that I was in, that you could probably hear in my voice when I did my last audio recording. I rarely do those audio recordings, but I was just so over it. I had to come on and tell y'all how I was feeling. But now that I don't say all this shit, and I'm going to say some more shit when I record the next video. Damn, I got a sports bra on, and this bitch is weighing me down. Child, let me tell you something. I walk in the morning. This is a part of my, outfit that I wear for walking and exercising purposes, And child, I'll tell you the truth. Honey, these sports bras, honey, they good when you ain't got, little BC cup, baby. When you get to the D's and triple D, it's a whole nother story. But anyway, we started this episode off with old Micah down there watching Kiki as she practices for cheerleading or whatever that was, And I said, you could tell he was really, he was watching her hard, honey. He was watching all her little moves. I said, look at Light Bright feeling old chocolate bunny. You come through. Afterwards, her and Micah have a talk. And she said the rumor mill is going to be starting soon, seeing as Michael West, the celebrity kid, came to see her. Child, make it do what it do. He tell her, his schedule ain't quite so busy as it used to be nowadays. And she told him you need to try to get into school somewhere, to occupy some of your time. He tell her he's working on trying to get into Gardenia Prep next week. He'll be going to school. Well, as he about to leave, you could tell he's smitten by Miss Kiki, right? And he want to see more of her. So she Kiki is very upfront. Kiki said exactly what she means. She told him, you overdue for some company. She said, now I'm going to drive by Miss Violet's house later. But it's not a Netflix and chill type of situation, so don't even get that in your head. And he was cool with it. I said, all right, girl, set your boundaries right now. That's what you do. Now, Nova and Chantel, they in the kitchen cooking some breakfast after some lustful sex between the two of them. And as Chantel is clearing the table, she happened to see an article, in the newspaper where it's stating that Nova has an interview with this lady by the name of Melissa Harris Perry about her article she's been doing on gun violence, police brutality, and things like that down in the Ninth Ward. Chantel immediately jumps extremely excited about it, almost to the point of making her look like she was an opportunist. And she won't tell Nova, that as she was grilling her, asking her, you got your talking points and all of that. Nova's playing it down. Although she realizes this is a big platform that she's going to be speaking on, she just not, she's trying to formulate that on her own. Y'all know Nova do it her way. If it ain't her way, she'd rather not deal with it at all, okay? She says she honored to be her guest on the show, though. Well, Chantel feels that this is an opportunity for Nova to further the Black Lives Matter movement, and you can see in Nova's face she kind of not here for Chantal, as she calls her. inserting herself in there. Now, Chantal, like I said, she was asking the woman, did she have her talking points together? She told her. Nova said, not quite yet. She said Miss Harris Perry would start with probably her 2 articles about police brutality and that Too Sweet case, right? But Chantal is overexcited and saying she gonna help her. Now, the girl ain't asking for no help, and she's showing you she pretty much got this, but you gonna do it on your own. So, okay, be careful, because 2 strong women will bump heads, okay? Now, later on, we see Charlie making a call to, she called somebody. Now, I don't know if that was Wes Davis. I'm talking about Wes, child. Davis, or I don't know if it was Remy, but I think it was with her husband, because she hung that phone up like within the 2nd ring. And as soon as she hung it up, Ralph Angel called her, and he telling her they got a problem and they need to put all their heads together for a solution. So she done got ready to go head over to the farm. Now, over at the farm, you got Prosper, Nova, Ralph, Darla's there too, Lil Blue. Lil Blue is getting ready for school. Ralph done told Darla, because she's asking to be more present in his life, that he could take Lil Blue to school on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. See, Vi used to take him to school on them days, but now that Darla is doing better, so it appears, he's trying to let her incorporate herself back into her son's life. And that was one of the things that he was doing, okay? Now, Charlie arrived, and the issue is, the big issue all of them need to put their mind together for is the field workers didn't show up for work. I can't blame them. I was like, no, but hell, they found 2 dead workers on our land. I wouldn't come back either. Ralph Angel said the storm threw them off already. They gotta get someone out there to help them, because it's not a one man's job. At that moment, Vi come over and she see everybody looking all glum and stuff. She was like, "What's wrong with y'all? Somebody stole y'all Halloween candy. That's how y'all look." Charlie tell her, "We don't have no workers, okay?" Prosper say he gonna get more men, but Charlie needs to get over to the meal. You know, she need to handle that meal deal situation, because it make no sense to harvest this cane if you can't grind it. Vi tells Prosper that she been missing seeing his face. Say he said he don't know why. She the one quick to high yellow, and now it's closed. And I'm about like, what you talking about? It's closed. But they didn't go no further with that. Vi notices that Darla is there, and Blue is saying he almost ready, right? So Vi tell her, "Baby, you don't waste your gas, because I take him to school on Monday and Wednesdays." Ralph Angel hit this because he done left out the room to go help Blue finish getting together. So he got to run to the room, run back in the kitchen, and explain to Vi, "It's totally my fault. I forgot to tell you. Darla will be taking him to school." Now, you can tell, because she don't like Darla, she ain't really here for this. But she don't say nothing. She let that shit ride, and eventually Blue comes in there. He always glad to see Vi and things like that. And so, you know, she gonna be all right. You're gonna have to take a chance, because he grown. That's his child. And so far, so good. You know, he done did some shit. He just ain't got caught for it, because we first met him robbing a damn store. And then if it wasn't for you a couple weeks ago, his ass would have been in jail for them stolen cell phones and laptops. But overall, he's trying, and this girl is trying. And when you got a person that's trying to do better, I think that it's incumbent of you to at least try to help them if you can. So don't be worried, Vi. It's going to be all right. At least I think so. I think so. Okay? He's still going to need your child. And Ralph Angel going to tell you that later on in this review. Now, Vi, she in her garden planting new stuff when Hollywood come. He come up with a crate of African violets, because he know after the storm she's replanting a lot of her stuff. But she tell him you could take that on back. She says she's starting something new, and he says he not asking her to forget what happened between, you know, the two of them. But she know he did what he did for a good reason. He said we wasting time by. I would rather, I don't want to waste time. I want to spend my time being with you. Basically is what he told her. She ain't say nothing and continued to work in that garden as he was talking to her. So he left them flowers there and walked away. Alright, girl, open up your heart. Open up your heart. You got your ace bone cone right there. You might want to get with the program, girl. Alright, now Ralph Angel goes to pick up Blue from school, and Blue is super excited, honey. He talking about going to see the animals, and Miss Velez explains to Ralph Angel that the school, you know, her class is going on a school field trip to the zoo. And Blue told him, I need your permission slip, Dad. So he signed the permission slip and just handed it back to her. We're going to get back to that. Now Nova comes home, and Chantel got her ass up in our house with two other women in the living room. Chantal said something about the water heater at Zena's apartment overflooded the living room, and you know they had to come over there so they could work, and you know, but she thought she'd be out there by then. Okay. Now Nova goes into the kitchen. She asks, "No, what's going on? You working on my interview?" She was like, "Well, I'm just talking about, you know, we're just working on some talking points." At that moment, Nova is like, "Look, didn't I tell you I had this? I don't need you to work on talking points for me." She was like, Chantel was like, "People are asleep, Nova. We need to wake them back up. They need to become aware of the corruption that's going on in the police department and the corruption and brutality that's going on in the lower Ninth Ward." Nova is aware of all of that, but she is the type that likes to do it her way. She telling her, "I got this. I don't need you to help me with this. I know exactly what I need to say and when I need to say it. And I want to do it on my own so that when the interview occurs, it's all authentic. It's my words, my way. I don't want to feel like I'm saying something someone else has scripted for me to say." And I got that. But Chantel didn't, and she got a little bit of an attitude. So she go back in there and tell the women, "You know what, let's pack it up for today, okay?" She getting ready to go. She pissed. You ain't gotta be pissed, cause she not trying to make it all about one person, as Chantel had told her that it was not. She well aware that it's more than one person that, you know, a part of this. But at the same time, what she's saying is, let me handle it the way I know how to handle it. I don't need you grilling me and teaching me what to say. That those are your words. When I speak to Miss Harris Perry, I want to speak from my own words, and Nova Chantal wasn't feeling that, okay? She upset. Now, Charlie on the phone with a person we later learned by the name of Jacob Boudreaux. He's actually owned the mill that she's interested in having her cane grinded at, and they set up a meeting to meet up the next day at 3 p.m. Well, when she hang that call up, she goes and she checks her voice messages. And there's one from that private school Micah was supposed to be going to, the Gardini. Well, they done called her and they done called Wes. She said they had a conversation with the private school that he last attended and found out about Micah being expelled. And the reason, and now they want to set up a meeting with her and Wes concerning that. Now, as she's hearing this, Ralph Angel and Micah, Lil Blue done walked in from school. Of course, he gives old Aunt Vi a hug and how you doing, and then he go out about his business with Ralph Angel in the kitchen. He hearing everything because she's in the dining area. Childish is kind of upset because Aunt Vi said that didn't sound good. She's saying that she thought she had handled that, and she questions why did they have to contact David. I don't know why I want to keep making this man named Wes. I guess because I looked at How to Get Away with Murder last night. But anyway, but I say because that's the boy's dad. She say, "Look, I am not the biggest supporter or fan of Davis, but at the end of the day, that's that boy's father." She said no matter what Davis did, and they should not. She sure ain't a fan of his. He still deserves to be treated as the boy's father. And Ralph Angel is standing in that kitchen. He done heard her say all of that. So I need y'all to book note that part right there I just told you. Remember, she said no matter what he did, he deserves to have a chance to be that child's father. Mark that, because they're going to come back, okay? Now, let's go back over to Nova's house, because Chantel and them ladies is still packing up their stuff, getting ready to go. And Nova trying to, make nice with her, because she ain't trying to hurt her feelings or piss her off. She offering to, help carpool them back to Zena's. Well, Chantel ain't trying to hear it. She says she don't want to, impose upon her time. And she walk on out the door. As she knock out the door, Red, y'all remember Red from episode 1, the seller, yeah. Anyway, he come by Nova's house and he trying to tell her, he said, look, I ain't trying to bother you. He said, but, Too Sweet and his family got evicted. It's cool, though, because they got a spot down at the shelter. I could talk about that, but I don't feel like this review going to be long enough. But, he tell her, he said they staying down at the shelter, but when Too Sweet went up in there, he flipped out, man. He said that's too much like jail, and he just hauled off and left, and now don't nobody know where he at. Nova said, you ain't heard nothing? She said, no, I ain't heard nothing. He said, I'm just trying to put the word out on the street. Oh, boy, mine's still bugging. He's still in his mind is programmed for jail. So Nova thanks him for telling her, and, he gone on about his business. Now, Michael getting super sharp, getting ready for school, child. When Charlie coming in, she dressed down. He know off the TOP something ain't right. We going to this preppy ass private school to get me in there, and my mama look like she on her way to the office or something. He telling her, girl, go and get ready so, we won't be late. She tell him y'all ain't gonna be late, and that's when she decides to drop the bomb that she got a call from Gardini wanting to meet up with him, discuss what happened at his last school. So he know that Peter done followed him. She also tell him he got a meeting down there at the she got a meeting at the mill that morning too. Of course he gonna get upset because he thought that Peter wouldn't follow him, and Charlie said private schools talk. And he says why everyone wants to think the worst of me, and he walking off into the kitchen where Aunt Vi is sitting there. Charlie said he knows why. And Michael said, not everything is because I'm black, Mom. She said, not only are you black, but you're child of a superstar. And that was great when he was seen as one of the good guys. Now, between his dad, the picture, paparazzi showing up at that last school he had the way they did, these people at the Gardini Prep are only concerned because they don't want all that drama at their school. So, she tell him, look, I done contacted our lawyers and we're going to work this shit out. It's going to be okay. Michael said, well, what about me just going to public school? She said, he not giving up that easy. They worked hard so that he could have choices in life. And Vi say, well, St. Joe's a great school. It's a blue ribbon school. Nova went there, then she went on to Tulane. Charlie said that they got different ideas for Michael's future, okay? And Vi said you want him to be one of the privileged kids. Charlie say it's not bad to want better for your kids. White people do it all the time. She said he needs to stay in private school so that when they go back to LA, he will still be in the system. If he goes to public school now, he's going to leave the private sector and it's going to look funny. But if he stay in private school, even though he's down there in New Orleans, it's going to look like he probably went down there for personal reasons and shit. And it's going to be all for the good. She don't want him out the season. Plus, it don't look like he ever got kicked out. Michael said, but Mom, I did get kicked out. And Charlie said, she knows that, but she working on that. You can best believe that. Now, Aunt Vi say, why spend $10,000 on a school that don't want you? Michael say, Aunt Vi, try more like $36,000. Vi said, she can't believe you spent $36,000. Do you realize some people don't make that in a year? She said, at least I don't. And Charlie open mouth and inserted foot. She said that's why we want to send him to private schools, because we don't want him to be like, and she cut it off because she realized she was finna be offensive. But by all that other stuff she done said, by pretty much realized what she was saying. She kind of laughed at her and she said, no problem, it's none of my business. And she walked out. Michael don't like the fact she said that fucking shit. And he just give her a look of like, you motherfucker. You know, he looked at his mama like, girl, why you can't get it right no matter what you do. And he walked off from her ass. So now she's sitting in the kitchen with booty on her face, okay? Now, she goes to see that Mr. Boudreaux. And my thing is, why are you as a woman always going to see these men about this business that you really don't know a whole lot about? But okay. Now, the first thing I got out of Boudreaux, he sent me was kind of checking her out, okay? Child, he gonna offer her a deal of 60-40 in favor of the farmer. She listening to this, and as she listening, she keying in on key points in the office. If y'all noticed up above him, he had some shit in front of it. But did y'all notice that flag? Now, we ain't gonna talk about what that damn flag meant, because most of y'all already know what kind of flag that was, okay? She said 40 seems like it's kind of high. She said, I'm a sports manager, and the most I could get was 10%. He let her know he aware who the hell she is, and showed her a picture. Well, he showed her an article, I guess, from one of their local papers, and tell her he is a fan of her husband. Well, she ain't trying to hear that shit. She talking about this 40% that's high. So he tell her, you know what, you can go check with any mill in the parish, and they gonna offer you the exact same deals. He tells her, just grow good cane, and you'll see the profit from the 60%. She said they just trying to bring in a good harvester to proving it's good land and then sell. Baby, when she said that, he perked up. He decided then he won't show her the plan, showing her the inner workings of the plan. So all I got out of that was that basically he trying to tell her that, girl, come on, work with us. Get this 40, take this 60%, bring in a good crop, and you're going to get your money. And he also tells her about this bonus that she could possibly get. And y'all know numbers mean a lot with Charlie. She about them numbers, baby. That's why the damn, she was trying to send them field workers back out there in the middle of a fucking hurricane that was coming, because she about them numbers. Not a bad thing, but sometimes quite insensitive. And also, he was explaining to her, you know, come harvest time, child, you'll be on the phone with me more than you will your mama. And she said, well, that won't be a problem. He said, well, when I get to know you better, I'll elaborate on that. Once again, flirting with her. And if you didn't see it, I sure saw it. I said, whatever. Now, let's go down to the high yellow, because I ain't let go of what Prosper told her that it was closed. So she go to see what's going on. Because, remember, okay, she get there and that door locked. She knocking on the door, and here come Clyde. Baby, he open that door, he in a panic. Apparently, the health inspectors are there, and he don't know what none of the paperwork is. He don't know when the filter's been changed. He don't know when the fire extinguisher's been changed. He don't know nothing about what's going on. And he telling her that, you know, they asking him all that shit, and don't nobody know that. She said, well, I guess you would be saying that I'm a nobody because I know all that because I do it. He asked her, how, you know, about certain things, and she was able to rattle them dates off to him real quick. He gonna tell her, you sure? Because we can't lie. She said, I ain't got to lie about this when I'm the one that do it. I do it every 3 months on the 15th to be exact. He started asking her how different things were done, and she knew that shit by heart. He also asked where the paperwork is. That's when she got silent, because she didn't remember this conversation that she had with Charlie and what Charlie said. So now she down here, and she got something on her mind. She got something to say. Well, when he asked about them filing cabinets, she said, did you forget that I don't work here anymore? Well, he offered her old job back, and she told him, I don't want that job back. I've been there, done that. She said, now, if you want my help, make me manager with full benefits, full benefits. Make me a manager with full benefits on a salary with a year-end bonus. He said, I don't even give my own family members benefits. She said, I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's between you and the Lord. Take that over him on Judgment Day. And she got ready to walk out of there, but Clyde scared. He's scared because he know he need her, and he ain't able to answer none of the health inspector, Mr. Lafitte, questions, honey. So he is all up in his fucking feelings. So he decides to concede. Okay, I'm going to give you everything you asked for. She said, oh, okay. Long as you do that, I'm good. Walked right on over there to Mr. Lafitte, started working at Chom, told him her paperwork, the paperwork for everything was in the back, and walked him back there. Child, she saved him, and she saved her damn self. Now, Ralph Angel done went down to the schoolhouse to pick up Blue. My voice is going out, I'm sorry. Blue from the school, and Miss Velez had him go out. You know, he was outside. He wasn't in the school, in the room like he was last time. She has to break to Ralph Angel that Aunt Vi has to be the one to sign the permission slip. The people in the front office said that Vi is the legal guardian, and the school can't take the risk of being liable by just accepting Ralph Angel's signature. Now, Ralph feeling like he ain't got no say in his own son's life, even though he's done his time and he takes care of Blue every single day. He takes the permission slip and tell her, I'm going to get it took care of for you. I'll make sure he can be able to go on down to the field trip, okay, with the children. Now, Aunt Vi getting her wardrobe together now, honey. Child, she coming there showing Aunt Charlie two different dresses. One she's wearing and the other one. Well, Charlie liked the one she had on because it showed off her leg. And she goes on to tell Charlie, look, I just got promoted manager at the High Yellow. Now, Charlie she is congratulating her. She happy for her and everything. And Vi say, she tell Charlie, had she not said what she said, she probably never would have made that move. Charlie go to trying to apologize, talking about I didn't mean it. Vi say, yes, you did. And it's good. Because it's good. You got dreams for Michael. But what you saying, what you said, helped me realize I still had a few dreams of my own. So that's that. Okay? Then she get to asking Charlie, what's all this paper and stuff? What you working on? She said it's stuff about the mill. Charlie asked Aunt Vi how long the mill's been getting over on the 60-40 rule. Aunt Vi said, hell, since forever. All the farmers used to come into the High Yellow complaining about how these the Boudreaux got them by the balls and stuff. Charlie asked her, well, why ain't none of them got together and ever tried to go against these people? She said, because, girl, even if they combined, they not bigger than these people. That's when she informed her that the Boudreaux and the Landrys are one, honey. They related by a marriage, honey, and together they own over 15,000 acres and all the mills in the parish. She's starting to sound crazy to her, okay? She told her Ernest used to sit just like you doing right now, trying to figure out how to come from up underneath them people. But for considering they own it all, what can you really do? Charlie, she built from a different cloth, though. Oh, this review long. Okay, Blue and Ralph Angel sitting at the kitchen table waiting on Darla to come and take him to school. When she get there, she goes to get his backpack, and Ralph shows Darla. Well, he go to get his backpack, and he showed Darla that permission slip, and he feeling some kind of way because Aunt Vi has to sign. Even though he the one that take care of him and everything like that. He said Aunt Vi only got the guardianship because he was locked up and she was messed up, so we needed a savior, and Aunt Vi was dead. But I take care of my son now, and I feel horrible that I have to depend on someone else to say that he can do basic things. Darla apologizes to him, and her and Blue get ready to leave out the door. And before she walks out, he tell her, you have a good day too. And she looked surprised and said, thank you. Later on, Hollywood cutting Ralph Angel hair. He telling her, Vi just won't give in, huh? Hollywood says she loves him and Blue, but she can't stand that Darla. And Ralph Angel trying to say Darla not like that no more. He said after all they've been through, they not going back to that. You know, so he ain't gonna be messing around with her or nothing like that. Anyway, child, Hollywood understood where Ralph Angel was coming from, but he told him, you know, I filed divorce papers against Leanne. He said, you ready to do that? He said, yeah. He said, I got to show how I'm serious, that I'm all in. And, man, she worth it. And I said, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's a good goddamn man. If you don't put your girl, You better don't miss your blessing, bitch. Don't miss your blessing. Okay, Kiki and Michael, they meet up under that damn tree. Everybody seem to like to sit up on and they talking. He tell her about what happened down at the schoolhouse at his old school with the ex-girlfriend having pictures of somebody's dick because it wasn't his, and that the mama went and told the school that he was the one that sent the stuff to her. She hear all of that shit and she asking, was she white? He said, yeah. She was like, Child, that was funny to me, okay? Long story short, they like each other. She wind up coercing him into kissing her, but there wasn't no coercion involved, because hell, he was ready to do it in a damn way. Look like they're gonna be a cute little couple. She also trying to push him up to go to public schools. Be careful with trying to push this boy up to go to public school, because his mama don't play. You'll fuck around and all his grill be gone by him coming at her wrong. That's all happened, okay? Now, she tell him life short. Kiki said, go on and just do it, because he looking at her lips. Just go on and just do it, because life's short and I got to get home. So he kissed her, and I said, okay, God bless the child. Now, Charlie goes back up to meet up with Jacob Boudreaux and tell him that he does have the, everybody else deal is the same. But she interested in bringing... So she interested in it, okay? He all smiles, and then he goes over and shows her this parish assessor's map outlining who owned what. And basically what I got from there, his brother and him just bought another little piece of land that's right outside the borderline establishment. But surrounding it is all of Landry and borderline properties. He don't know she know the borderlines and the Landrys. I mean, the Boudreaux and the Landrys are related. See, she don't know she know that. And he telling her that shit, He said he'd be happy to grind her cane for her, but they want to make another alternative scenario, and that's when you can really tell that he was flirting with her ass, because, child, she's sitting on the desk, he looking up at her, and he damn near right here on her. And I'm like, okay. She said she didn't know it was an alternative scenario on the table. He said, oh yeah, it's always one, and it's going to be one she can't refuse. We'll be back to that, because I'm running. I don't want to. Ralph ain't to go to See1. She asked him how Blue doing. He said Blue fine, but he want to go to the zoo with his kid, with his class, and he showed her the permission slip. He said he signed it, but she the legal guardian, so she has to sign it. So she said okay, and she signed it. He get ready to walk off after she done signed it, but he couldn't let that shit go. He said, do you have any idea how that make me feel right now? He said, I gotta ask permission for my child to go to the zoo with his class. She trying to tell him they put me in charge because somebody had to be concerned about Blue. Blue had to come first. He said, I'm fine. I ain't some no count run around that only shows up on Father's Day. He ain't some game to me. Did you catch that, Country Twain? He ain't some game to me. I loved it. Anyway, he said he ain't some game to him, and he been here all day, every day since he got out. Yeah. She say Darla is a bad influence on you. You can't see it, but everybody around him does. Ralph Andrews said, what about Davis? She said, what about Davis? He said, remember. Now, come on. Remember, I told y'all, remember this. He said, you told Charlie he got a right to be a dad to hit Michael, despite all he done did. He got a right to be a daddy. He said, I ain't got the same rights. He said, when do I get out? And he began to get teary-eyed, and he cried on that. He said, I did my time. When am I done? Vi looked like she had been hit with straight bullets. She walked off, and I'm thinking, I know this health ain't walked off from this boy in his time of upset like that. But no, what she actually did was went and got the guardianship papers and signed it right there in his face. Baby, he was elated. She said, look, let me tell you something, I'm still here. If you ever need me, I'm here. And there ain't no harm in asking for help. And then he leave. Okay? Now, down at the restaurant, Vi come in there. She getting the crew together, get this place cleaned up. Tell Roberta, pick up your face and all of that. And Hollywood come up there. He want to congratulate her on making manager. And he let her know he was getting ready to go back on the rig tomorrow. She said he tell her she deserve a lot of good things. She said, yeah, I do. But see, I don't think Hollywood picked up on that look. Because that look that she gave him was like, yeah, I deserve good things. You're a good thing and I want you. I deserve you. Okay? Well, he feeling like it's just hopeless because she been shooting him down. So he getting ready to leave. She said, I could rustle you up a cup of coffee. And she did. I ain't see no steam coming out that cup. But they standing there smiling and shit at each other. I said, that's right, girl. Get your man back. Child, this was a long, I'm sorry, y'all. It's long, okay? Chantel comes over to Nova to get her stuff. Because basically, to me, this was unnecessary thing. This bitch mad because she done went looking in this girl draw, seen a picture of Calvin, realized he's a police officer, and telling Nova, how can you be pro-black and conscious, but you fooling with him? Not realizing that this woman chooses who she chooses to be with based upon who they are. Just because you in a cluster of people or you conscious don't mean that you can't be with, hang with white people or even love them. She trying to say conscious people lead by how they lead their life based on how they feel. My thing is this: you can be as conscious as possible as you want to be, but you can't sit here and tell me I can't love or like a certain person. Just like all of us ain't bad, all of them ain't bad, and they too far apart. It's too much. They got two different ideals, and basically they decide to break up. Child, she told Nova she all over the damn place. I said, whatever, child, whatever. This girl mad about that interview too. Now Nova say, nah, I ain't finna go in all that. Fuck that, cause Charlie calls a meeting with the family and to include Prosper, cause Prosper was Daddy Borderline close friend, and she tells them about Paul and Jacob Boudreaux and the fact that he offered them $4 million. Way more than what Landry did. Ralph Landry over there talking about that's what I'm talking about. Now, she want to know why. She pulls out the map and showed him the land that the Landrys and the Boudreaux owned before slavery and the land that they owned afterwards. And she say something happened for the Borderlands to have that little piece of land, and she want to know why. And she also want to know why did the Boudreaux not tell her that they came to the Borderlands, the Landrys. Why they keeping that shit a secret? What happened? Vi said wolves in sheep's clothing. Charlie shows the map like I said, and she still want to know what happened. How did we obtain this land? Charlie explaining that something had to happen because all of this land once belonged to them. And she trying to figure out what happened and why. Vi weighs in. She said Ernest loves this land, but he wanted y'all to come to it on your own. That's why he made me and Prosper promise to never tell y'all the story of the land unless you ask. And now y'all done asked. So Vi said the Landrys once owned them during slavery. After slavery, they became sharecroppers on their lands. However, during the Great Depression, the Landrys' finances were hit hard, and one of the Borderlands had left and went and made a whole lot of money and sent money back. Now, when the Landrys needed that money, they offered to buy some of the land. That's the land that they sitting on now. Because of the desperation at that time and they needed that money, they sold that land to them. However, when they shook back, they tried to take the land back. Even went so far as to say that they didn't buy the land from the people. And the bank mysteriously losing the damn deeds and proof that they actually had sold the land. The Borderlands were strong and they resolved to keep their land because they know it was bought and paid for. Well, what the Landrys were doing was they were killing them, hanging them one by one, child. Back then, that's what they was doing. Even went so far as to hang Ralph Angel Sr., the person Ralph Angel is named after, which is Daddy Borderland's daddy, okay? The reason why that land means so much to them is because they done paid for it over and over again by the way these people done killed their family members. Now it's all starting to come full circle to Charlie and the others, why these people will not leave it alone. She said, my brother Ernest, they basically killed him too. She said every time Ernest made a step forward, the Landrys or the Boudreaux, because they are one, found a way to drag dragging back 10 steps. They did that until he stretched himself to death. That is the history of this land, and that's why Ernest was so adamant about keeping it. Because we have fought and died to keep this shit. Charlie, everybody in the room crying except for Charlie. Charlie, her daddy. I'm telling you, that girl got some fight in her. Because as she was telling this story on Vivals, you could see the anger and the determination. Oh, they ain't finna do that. Rising up in her. When she finished telling the story, every eye in there was pretty much wet except for her. She got on, walked out on that porch, looking at that land. Her sister and brother, Nova and Ralph Angel, come out there. She said, we ain't going nowhere. And we will fight. And I said, yes, God. And I need black people today to understand, despite what happened Tuesday, we're going to be all right. You keep your determination. We'll talk about it in Fuck Shit Friday, but you keep your determination. You keep your head up. Because can't nobody take you down unless you let them take you down. And this has been a 40-minute review. I'm sorry this shit was long, but y'all told you it's going to be extensive. I was going to give you all. I ain't leave out not one damn thing. So for those of my people who watch my reviews that don't have cable and can't see this is exactly what happened. In order, everything. Y'all know I try to look out for y'all. Because I once didn't have no motherfucking cable either. And bitch, with motherfucking, the way high this shit is. If it wasn't for this, and my good sister from the D, I probably wouldn't be, child, I'm telling you shit. In the meantime, in between time, please like, comment, subscribe. Feel free to share this video and have a wonderful day. Peace.